Hello everyone, I'm Ash, Strategic Resourcing Manager for BTP. I'm going to be telling you how we've used WCN to help us with our equality and diversity strategy. Just going through how we're creating events on the system, monitoring the candidates, how we've used it for management information reports and for talent pools, and also how we found existing talent within the system itself. So, where did it start? Well, back in 2013-14, our Chief Constable attended a lot of the passing out parades for our current student officers or the student officers who just completed their training, and come back and says, why is there a sea of white faces? That's all I can see is a sea of white faces. And that's not really representing the community that we serve. We serve quite a transient community, which is very, very diverse. So he got the motions going, says we need to do something about this. And having looked at the data and at that particular time, our BME officers in particular were 7%, which we were actually third or fourth in terms of police officers or police constabularies. So we weren't too bad, but our female officers were only 15%. We were probably right at the bottom of the charter. So our lovely equality and diversity or inclusion diversity manager sets a goal strategy and then hands it to me to deal with, which for me was very optimistic to almost double what our BME police officers in particular are going to be. But I can see that the starting point for most of these is going to be in recruitment. But although I couldn't handle the rest of it and our internal processes, certainly you can start looking at how we do things in recruitment. So a lot of the organisation and I'd been there at that point about 3-4 years. Previous to that, I think this has come up and been a subject. It's been tried and done before, with not much success. So a lot of people were actually saying you're going to waste a lot of money doing something that isn't actually going to work, because we've tried and done it before. And I often heard, and I was talking to Morgan earlier, that there was a lot of talk about it, a lot of meetings about it, a lot of ways we can do things, but no actions really were taking place. So I was told you need to get something done by the next intake, which was literally in about 3 or 4 months. And we currently had a campaign live, and this was back in November 2014. So we had a campaign live. So I thought, what can I do? Having researched what other organisations or the police forces were doing, I can see they were doing some sort of careers events and workshops, and decided to sort of create a BTP diversity careers workshop. The only issue is WCN for us. We bought in WCN in 2013. So it was pretty new in terms of the first year, just trying to get used to it, trying to settle out the applications and vacancies process. Didn't think doing events on WCN at that point was going to really be beneficial or cost effective at that time. So the first diversity workshop that I ran in November 2014, a very small workshop, with very limited advertising, basically just targeting the current applications on the vacancy itself, was attended by about 33 people, 33 BME and female candidates, and was actually quite a good success in terms of their progress throughout the application process. But I wanted it to be more frequent, more bigger, and how do we do this? So looking at it, the system actually has an events section. Some of you may have used it already, and actually we found that the standard template on the events section was very, very useful. Didn't need to make any changes on that in any aspect. It gives you what you need in terms of the event title, name, start and end time, and the location, how many spaces, and it sort of manages that for you. But I needed a little bit more than that in terms of the application form. I didn't want to have a 14-page application form like most police application forms are. I wanted to encourage people to come to the workshops and join in. So managed to get level 1 configuration training from WCN. I managed to set up and create my own application form in the system. Very basic and very simple application form, just literally asking them their basic details with some vetting questions, because I don't want people invited to a workshop who will not be able to be progressed on eligibility status. So very, very simple, was able to do it, and from this our workshops really picked up. We had workshops literally every other month, but we're struggling to advertise them with very limited budgets, which I'm sure most of us have come across, and thought, how can we do this? How can we try and get the word and message out about our workshops? We were using diversity jobs, but what else can we do? And actually, when we looked into it, we had thousands of applications and thousands of candidate data already on our WCN system, having just been set up just a year or two earlier. So what I did was run reports from our system to tell us candidate details of those who were BME female, who we could target, and send targeted communication to these candidates by simply just getting their data off applications that they've already submitted or have started, so not necessarily submitted, from the system, which then in turn made our workshops much more successful, in terms of where we started off on our first workshop with 33 people. It then started to become about 150 people, BMEs and females, at our workshops because of these targeted communications and emails. We couldn't do more than 150 because of the space, and that's the maximum we could do. But we then ran them more regular. We also sort of kept them in a pool for the next workshops. How did this work for us? With pretty much like your application and vacancies status, you can monitor your applications, and anyone who's, slide's a little bit small, so apologies for that, but the system, or then when they register, when they attend an event, you can then class them as an event attended, which then gives you the option to then follow them through the process. So you are able to follow your candidates through your system to see what progress they're making, and also see whether your events are actually, how successful your events are. Our Chief Constable actually often wanted to know on an individual, on a monthly basis, how we were doing with these recruitment workshops. Now, the percentage figures I showed you earlier about what our BME and female officers were at the start, we couldn't really use that for monitoring recruitment, because that affected everything, their whole employee life cycle. So what we had to do was report individually on each intake that we had. So these are the six months worth of intakes, and we literally have double these each year. And you can see the difference between our BME, non-BME and female officers. In 2013-2014, we had 8 BME females for the whole year, and just in 6 intakes we've got 12, and we have 49 females, where in comparison the year before, for the whole year, we had 50 females come through the whole intakes. In terms of males, in 2013-2014, we had 16 males for the whole year, yet in just 6 months we had 34, and that's using the system to try and get the talent and use them to invite them to workshops. So significant progress in that way in terms of us. It's not going to make a massive dent to the percentages overall straight away, but you can certainly see that there is making a difference to the intakes that we're having each month. What we also didn't want to do is lose our candidates, lose our people through when we were not advertising. So we wanted to continue the workshops to keep generating interest, keep generating pools. And the way to do this was using the speculative application process on the system. I often found that people were ringing up and asking about the applications or student officer vacancies. We didn't have any, or if we didn't have any at that time, they were just turned away. Well, actually, we're losing talent there. And there is availability on the system for you to be able to manage those candidates as well, which is under our system. It's under speculative applications, which I'm sure will be similar to yourselves. To capture those people that want to apply, so they're filling a full application, and as and when we needed them, we can process them through. What we also did, and what the system can help us do, is for these particular workshops, we'd often have big campaigns going at the same time. We didn't want to lose these candidates through these big campaigns that we're going through, because we want to monitor their progress. So we often use what I call as hidden vacancies. Now, I'm not sure what exactly the WCN technical term is, but it's literally creating a link to a vacancy which can only be accessed via this link. So if you communicate it to the people who attended the workshop, it's only accessed via this link. So it's not made public on the system. And we use that a lot to track these people as they're going through the process and the application process to see where they're falling out, if they need any further support, any buddy programs, etc.